Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Patrick Afrifah. I'm a technology architect, a real estate investor, and a realtor. Today, I have a great video for you. We are going to dive into a topic that is crucial to any landlord planning on renting out their property, which is creating a tenant pre-screening survey using Google Forms. This tool will help you save time, streamline your process, and even help you find or screen out the best tenant. It doesn't matter whether you are seasoned a landlord or just starting out. It is going to be beneficial to you. This video is going to include the basic questions that I usually include in my survey, how to customize your own Google Forms, share your forms, how to analyze or even extract the responses. I hope this video is going to be beneficial to anyone interested in creating a Google Forms, using Google Forms to create a tenant pre-screening survey. Now, if you are ready, let's get started. First, I would like to share my pre-screening questions. As you can see, I have about 23 questions that I usually use to create my forms. You don't have to go with all these questions, but this could be a starting point. You can either add to it or take out and modify the questions according to your needs. And as you can see, there are different types of questions. Now, for the sake of the length of the video, I'm going to pick a few of them to create the form. I'm going to stop the video, come back when I'm done with the entire survey. We will test it out, see how to access the responses and also how to analyze the responses. So, as you can see, I'm already in Google Drive. First, let's start with Google Drive. In your Google Drive, as you can see, I have this tenant pre-screening survey questions here as a file. To start off, click on the new. Down here, you are going to see your Google Forms. Let's start. Now, you need to give a title, right? So with my Google Forms, I want to name it 123 Main Street. Tenant pre-screening survey. Excuse my spelling. In here, in the description, I want to repurpose my title to stay to as the repurpose my title as the description. I'll add, the city and the state to start with. to go with it. Now, let's start with our first question, right? We want the name of the tenant. So with our first question, we just put the name in there. And as you can see, Google Forms is very intelligent that whatever question you put in there, it is going to suggest the type of answer. Whether it's a short answer, a paragraph, a multiple choice, a checkbox, a drop down, right? You also have the option to upload files, create a linear scale, have multiple choice grid, and of course a checkbox grid. Some of the responses or answers could be a date, which we'll see an example in a few minutes, and also the time. Right. So with the first one, we want the name, and we want it to be in a short answer form. Now, if you want your question to be a required question, we just enable it here. Now, let's try the next one. So, the next thing, the next information we need from the potential tenant is their email address. We also want it to be a required field. Now, I want to try a yes or no answer, sorry, question. So I'm going to go with this one. Now, I will show you one good. So before that, before I show you what I was going to show you, as you can see, Google Forms is actually suggesting answers, right? So you can pick and choose the answers you want in here. And as I said, it's intelligent enough that it can identify whether it's a multiple choice question or a question that is going to require either a short answer, text, or a paragraph, right? What I wanted to show you, this is a primary example. You can move stuff around on the form, right? Now, we also want this to be a required question. And as you can see, whenever we enable the required um, down here, it always puts the red asterisk there, letting the potential tenant know that they are supposed to complete it before they can submit the questions. Or, sorry, before they can submit the forms. Now, let's try another type of question. So let's go with, what is your desired move-in date? See, as you can see, it suggested, the answer type for us, the question and the answer type for us. Let's see what else we can try. Okay, let's go with the credit. And by the way, I'm going to share the list of my questions in the description portion of this video. So anyone that is interested should be able to get access to these questions and use them in creating their own videos. So let's add this. So as you can see, it has given me a multiple choice. So in here, we want to say no credit because, believe me, there are people that do not have credit, but they also want to rent out. So this is one of the instances where you want to know whether they have a credit or not. And after that, I'm starting with those with credit score less than 500. Then we go to 500 to 549. We go to 550 to 599, 600 to 649, 650 to 699, then 700 plus, right? And as you can see, I've also made this a required question. Now, I'm going to pause the video as I promised earlier to complete the entire survey. When I'm done, I'll start a video again, and then we will jump on to the next stage as to how to share your survey, and when you get responses, how to check the responses and everything. So I will be right back. Hi, everyone. So I'm back. So as you can see, I've added the rest of the questions. I want to quickly glance through it. I will show you a few other things that you could do to customize your homes to suit your brand or to suit your own taste. But first of all, we want to also name it, right? As you can see, right when I touched it, it grabbed the title from here. That way, when you go back into the folder or in your drive and you're looking for that particular survey which is being created with Google Forms, you should be able to see it within the title. Now, if you want a different title, you can change that. The other things too that you could do, you could change the text style, you could change the question format, the text, you could change the font, you could also choose an image for the header or even upload your own image, you know, or even search for photos from the internet. So you have so many options. Now, I try to keep things very simple. Um, so I usually do not do any of this, right? But these are all options available to you. Now, you can also preview your survey, right? So I wanted us to take a look at the survey, the preview of the survey. That way you see how your potential tenants are going to see it when they receive your link or when they click on your link. Now, looking at this, as you can see, it automatically identified my Gmail account. So you could switch it if you have multiple Gmail account. Part of the reason why I also like Google Forms is that it actually forces them to log in into their Google email account. That way, you know that it is a real human being that is completing the forms, not just some bot trying to um, fill the forms and send you junk information. I'm not saying that some tenants or potential tenants won't give you junk information or false information, but at least it helps you, weed out or screen out all the ones that are not serious or that you might not be interested in working with or dealing with. We have the full name, the email address. We also want to know if their current landlord is going to provide them with favorable reference, their desired moving date. We also want to know where they stand, credit worthiness, right? Whether they have credit or bad credit or good credit. Now, I'm going to create another video that I'm going to talk about the requirements that I have when it comes to screening or looking for potential tenants. And I'll touch on my credit requirements a little bit. I want this video to strictly focus on how to create the tenant pre-screening survey using Google Forms. So I'm trying to stay on topic here. Now, we also want to know whether they are currently renting or they own their house. There are times that some people may be relocating, so they may sell their current home or may will be in the process of selling their current home and they need a place to stay in the new location. That's why they are more likely going to want to rent. So we want to know homeowners and tenants, right? It helps a lot because as a landlord, you figure out later, or if you are new to real estate investing or new to being a landlord, you are going to find out very quickly that usually people that have previously owned homes, they tend to take very good care of your property. So it's very, very important. How long have they lived in their current home? Why are they deciding to leave? It's very, very important. Are they, giving their current landlord headache? Are they being evicted or are they being asked to move out? That's why they are trying to find a new place. These are things that you want to know. Are you willing to sign a 1 year lease? It depends on you whether you want them to sign a 6 months lease or a 1 year lease. It's up to you. It's a lot of questions, but as I stated earlier, these are questions that I normally use for my pre screening. You don't need to use all those 23 questions. You can pick a subset to fit your needs. One thing that I would like to do is to complete this form and see what we will get, right? So let's go ahead and let me put my information in here. So I want to move in 1st of August, and my estimated, let's say my credit is somewhere here. So I'm going to say I live on maybe 145, 135 Circle Drive. I'm just picking anything. Chicago. And I've lived there for the past 3 years. Say relocating, relocation. I'm the only one going to contribute. I'm a consultant. Combined income, I'm just going to just put a random number on in here. Will you be able to pay security deposit? Yes. Yes, I'm okay with getting my background check done. Have you ever been evicted? I would say no. No to this. Let's say I would say two people, right? And like I said, you can modify this accordingly. You can have one person You can start with one person instead of the two people. No, I don't anticipate having a long term guest. Yes, I'm okay with the application fee. No, I don't smoke. No, I don't have a pet. The last two questions are optional, right? So let's say, for instance, if they don't have additional information to provide, you don't want to force them to. And if they don't even have any questions to ask, they don't necessarily have to be forced to give a response. So let's click this. I've submitted it. When we go back in here, right, as you can see, the responses. These are my responses, right? And you can even copy them, right? Responses for all the questions except the last two that I did not respond. Now, the interesting part of it too is that in here, let's say for instance, if you want to receive an email whenever your survey is completed and submitted, you want to check this box, get email notification for new responses, right? Let's say you want to get all the responses in a Google Sheet or an Excel sheet, just click on this and ask Google to create a new spreadsheet, or you can select an existing uh, uh, spreadsheet. Since we don't have an existing spreadsheet, we are going to ask the system to create a new spreadsheet for us. And see, it's going to put a timestamp on there for us, the date, the time, the name, the email address, and all the responses. For a quick recap, what we did discuss today is how to create a tenant pre-screening survey using Google Forms. As I stated earlier, this is going to save you time, streamline your process, and help you with your screening process. By doing this, you will be able to gather most of the basic information that you need from your potential tenant and match it with your requirements. And from my personal experience, by doing this, you even help the tenant by saving them the time and the money that they would have spent completing your application if they don't qualify, right? By going through this process, you actually help not just you, but also that potential tenant that may be wanting to apply for your apartment. That's all that I have for today's video. I hope you enjoy learning how to set up your pre-screening survey in Google Forms and that you are excited to put these steps to practice. If you like this video, please make sure you give this a thumbs up, subscribe for more content on anything that has to do with real estate. I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions. Please feel free to drop a comment below. Thank you.